A modern-day message in a bottle. You take a well-thumbed book and leave it in a public place for a stranger to pick up. It's called BookCrossing, and it is taking over the literary world. Here's how it works. You log on to BookCrossing.com, register the book you want to release, and write a note on the inside. Next, you decide where you want people to find it. It might be on a park bench, in a telephone box, under a bridge, at an airport, inside a watermelon. Then you wait. It could take days, months, even years for your book to be picked up. When someone does, they log their details on the website so you get to see where in the world your book has found a new home. You know, I can imagine this becoming an obsession. I think it has with Debbie Robson, BookCrosser. How are you, Debbie?
I'm very good, thank you.
It could become an obsession, couldn't it?
Yes, easily.
Has it?
For me, probably. For a lot of us, because we meet friends, we find out about new books, we travel to conventions, and with me, of course, I spent 4.5 years writing a novel, so it is...
And you wrote a book about
yes.
crossing paths. Do you find that you're constantly going to the website just to see if someone's picked up your book or to find out where it is now?
Not now, because I'm an old hand, but you do. And I did last night, and I found that a book has been released at a cafe in Newcastle that I might actually go and get.
So this is one you want, or this is one of yours, which
well, actually,
is doing
it's
the rounds?
one that I registered, decided I was too busy to read, so then I took it to a meeting. Someone caught it at the meeting about a year or two ago, and has now decided to release it in Newcastle. When
you say release, that means through the website it has just been put in a place?
Yes, she's gone online and made an entry, make release notes, and selected from all the cities, Newcastle, and put in the cafe and put
but she's just left it there.
And you've got the little running man.
All right, couple of quick questions. Because people can just go to the website to find out exactly how it works rather than us talk about all the details.
It's all on the website.
I would have thought that by the time you put on the website where the book is, where you've left the book, some stranger, as happened to my book this morning, which we put in a tree, some stranger's just come along, picked it up and walked off with it.
That often happens.
So quite often that's how the books are picked up.
There's another way. You can actually leave it in an official book crossing zone, which will be like a basket in a cafe, and then they tend to stay there a bit longer. But if you're going to leave it in a park bench or a tree, it'll disappear quicker. So you know, you can just try and get there. But the whole idea is you want to share it around. That's right.
Now, which books do you do this with? Because I know people who absolutely adore books and they covet their books. The last thing they would ever do is want them just to go willy-nilly out around the world.
Well, you do them either with ones you don't want to read, maybe that friends have given you, and you think, well, I'll release that one, or you do it with a book, for instance, that is quite popular and you've read it and you don't want to keep it. So you register it
because
and leave it.
Because there are always those books that you want to read, but you know you'll never want to read them again.
Exactly.
Do you buy books still, or do you not need to?
I do still buy books, quite a lot of books. Sometimes you'll buy a book because you want to send it on a book ring. Because, for instance, you read a book and you're mad about it and you want other opinions. So, for instance, like Man in the Dark, Paul Auster, I registered that and I created a book ring.
Now, I suggested in that little piece just now, I'm the one that suggested that you could put it in a watermelon. And the reason I suggested that is that I know that you have a friend who's on BookCrossing, and she puts her books in Ziploc. He puts his books in Ziploc bags inside fountains.
Generally fountains, yes. Sydney Young Convention, it was the fountain near Hyde Park, I think.
What's the funniest place you've ever left one? Because I quite like this as quite a nice aspect. I
got a friend to release a book in, as it turned out, a Mexican restaurant in Siberia.
Wow.
I know, and it was Shirley, so it hasn't been caught.
There are 1 million people on the site at the moment, about 8.5 million books.
Yes.
That's pretty good. It's caught on very quickly.
Yes, oh yes, it's a big thing, you know.
All right, Debbie, let's add one to that book. Now, this is the book that you've brought in. You were going to release this book.
It's already actually released.
In a moment?
Yes.
You're going to just leave it somewhere?
Yes.
OK, we will follow you with the camera and we'll see how long it takes for it to be picked up.
OK.
OK, leave it around here. All these people are as poor as church mice. Okay. All right, Debbie, thank you very much. It's fascinating.
And can I just say, I'm looking for an agent for this one, so somebody to help me get it around.
You might find one on BookCrossing. You might. All right, lovely book. So that's your Crossing Paths, your book. Thank you very much, Debbie.
So you want me to go now?
Yes,
Why not?
You head off.
Good luck. Thanks for coming.
Deposit the book. I like the idea of you putting it in a fountain.
Or somewhere crazy, although accessible, right? Accessible.
Crazy, accessible only to scuba divers.
News, sport and weather coming up after the break right here on Breakfast.
BookCrossing.com.